Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Home Solution, the local area's only home and garden show. Dennis Purvis here with you, as always, from the Mix 1041 studios. We're happy to be with you on this Saturday. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your weekend. And as always, today's show is brought to you by our good friends, mostly because I'm one of the owners at Pro 93 Home Solutions, your local neighborhood friendly general contractor. Anything we can do to help you out, folks, we would love the opportunity to partner with you and your family for anything you've got going on at your house. Maybe it's everything from as small as a bathroom or kitchen remodel all the way up to a custom home build. Maybe you want to build a detached garage. Maybe you want a pool house. Maybe you're looking at finishing a basement for a mother-in-law suite. Whatever it is, we are determined to work within your budget, work with you through the process, through all the permitting, all the planning. We've got great partners all over town that can help make sure we get the job done from start to finish. As always, give us a call at 458-4135 or pro93homesolutions.com. If you're on the website, just hit that Contact Us tab. Give us a little information about what you're looking to do. We'll get you right away on our schedule for a free estimate. We'll get Mark Russell out there, our estimator. He'll come out and talk to you about your plans, get some pictures, get some measurements, and get an estimate back to you. Folks, we look forward to partnering with you and making your dreams a reality. And don't forget about Miss Dalfina and our clean team. We also have residential and commercial cleaning. If you'd like to get maybe a deep clean, a move in, move out clean, or maybe you've had some work done or done some work yourself and you want to do a post-construction cleanup, we specialize in all those things. If you own a business, looking to maybe get somebody to get in there in the evenings or the weekends to get your office cleaned, please, again, give us a call, 458-4135. Now that we got the commercial out of the way, let's jump in. I am so excited to have our guest here today. She not only is a fantastic business owner and businesswoman and unique in what they do around here to be an independent business owner, but she's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet in your life. So, folks, you know, we talk a lot about the house. We talk about your yard. But let's talk about something that goes in your garage all the time, and that's your car, your truck, your minivan, your SUV, whatever it is, windshields. Man, some of you are driving around right now with that little bitty crack in your windshield that you're praying doesn't become a very big crack. Or maybe you had that little bitty crack and it is starting to creep, and you're just putting it off and putting it off. A lot of people don't have that covered under their insurance or don't want to spend the money because they're scared to death to make an insurance claim, or maybe your deductible is even more than it's going to cost. Well, have I got a treat for you? I've got Miss Cezanne Philips from Glass Jaxx here. Miss Cezanne, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
So she is owner of Glass Jaxx, and just tell everybody a little bit about what you guys do, the services you offer, and then we'll start, maybe tell your story.
Okay. So glad to be here. It's nice to be on the radio. So it's my husband and I. We have Glass Jaxx. We do windshield replacement, windshield repair, and calibration. So if you have a crack attack your windshield or a chip, we want to fix it before it gets worse, before you need to replace it. That was the original plan when I first started this business, was to get into repair. A lot of windshields out there, a lot of opportunity for fixing them and repairing them. So we started with repair, and then got into replacement because we kept getting one call after the other as far as needing replacements. So we got into that and into calibration. So that's kind of what we do. We're mobile. We also have a shop at our home that we do a lot of the work there. And yeah.
Now, is Glass Jaxx a franchise? Is this an independent company?
Nope. Yeah, just mine. We came up with the name, first of all, many names are taken, the domains are taken. Yes. So everything we originally thought of was taken. So my husband came up with just Jaxx, like lumberjacks, jack of all trades. It's a knave or a servant of the king. So we just thought, okay, it's good. We want to be a servant of the people. So we just thought Glass Jaxx, and that was open, and we liked it, so we went with it.
So Glass Jaxx, again, folks, if you're listening out there, I know a lot of folks don't like working with the big national or the franchisor because you just feel like there's just so much cost involved, overhead you're paying that you shouldn't have to. Folks, you got a local business here from the ground up that's grown this business. I've kind of watched her over the last year and watched how they did. I mean, I was there kind of at the beginning when you guys were just doing like repairs and how it's grown to replacement and then adding that calibration. We'll get into that later, but tell everybody a little bit about your story and how you guys got here. If you, just so you guys know, and I'll set you up, she is, you would never realize that she is trying to be the mother of our nation. How many kids do you guys have?
So we have 6.
6. Okay. You guys ever
6
figure out
kiddos.
what was causing that?
No.
Or,
Yeah,
still,
didn't really
still trying to figure it out?
It hasn't
Okay.
happened lately, though.
Yeah, okay, good. Well, after 6, let's pray that maybe,
We
Lord
kind of
works in this.
decided 6 was the end all.
So you guys have 6 kids. What are the ages?
So I have 2 sets of twins.
What?
Yes. I have 2 sets of twins. My husband's a twin. My husband's a baby of 10. He's a twin. He has twin brothers. His twin has twins and his sister has twins. So lots of twins, but they are fraternal, so they're my fault. Doesn't really have
gotcha.
anything to do with his genetics.
Gotcha.
So
But you
I've
have 2
got
sets? So you got 2 for 1s twice?
Yes. Yeah, and I was not on any special medication for that.
So here's my question. The second time you got twins, were you just like, you got to be kidding me, Doc?
I knew it. I mean,
what?
I felt fluttering.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is on the second set, at least you kind of knew what you're getting into.
I knew it, but they were the last ones. So I had twins, single twins. So, yeah. And then after that, I said, if they come out healthy, tie 'em up, baby.
Yeah, I'd say that because you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Let's put it that way. I mean, 2 sets of twins.
2, yeah.
So what are the age groups there? What are the age
So
differences?
I've got 22-year-old boy-girl twins that are at Lee. One just graduated.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, so happy for her. She moved on to D.C. and is fighting the good fight in D.C.
Nice.
Then I've got a 20-year-old who's going to go into his sophomore year at Lee.
Gotcha.
And then soon-to-be freshman at Bradley, girl. And twin 14-year-olds that just finished 8th grade.
Boy,
at
girl, whatever.
Lake Forest, boy, girl.
Whew.
So no
14.
longer middle schoolers. All my kids are high school and up.
I got a 14-year-old right now.
Wow, boy, girl.
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 I got a 17-year-old girl and a 14-year-old girl.
Wow.
And the 17-year-old, honestly, is, we went through a bad stage, where one day I was the devil, and the next day it was, Daddy, I love you. But she just got a new car. She just got her first
she loves
car.
you now.
So yeah, she's a big fan of Dad right now.
Absolutely.
The 14-year-old, moody might be a word.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It's definitely a thing. So to have a boy and a girl going through that and coming out of middle school.
I know. It's
Middle
such
school's
a crazy
hard.
age. It's so hard.
It's so hard.
So hard.
So you guys, so what got you into this? Like how did you get yourself down this road? Obviously you've done a lot. You and your husband have done a lot with, 6 kids is a lot. I'm assuming your car is kind of like a shuttle service at some point.
Yes.
Are you just a taxi service?
Yes, I had a Suburban that got many miles on it.
Yeah,
We just loaded everybody in, and that car got worn out. Yeah, so, we're from Orlando.
Yeah.
We met in Orlando, and my husband was a pastor for 25 years.
Wow.
So he always had side jobs. So one of the side jobs he had was a guy in Orlando who owned Superglass, which is a national franchise.
Absolutely.
So he owned all the franchises. He came to our church, and my husband worked for him in marketing for a while. And he really liked him. Was a great business. We had never heard of rock chip repair.
Yeah.
So he did that for a bit. He tried to get us into the franchise of that, but we were just too busy with doing ministry, and I was homeschooling my
my
soccer team.
On top of that?
Yes.
Good
yes.
Lord.
So I did that for 8 years. Yes.
Do you sleep, Cezanne? How does
I love sleep. That was
all 2 hours a day? You
yes.
get all 2 hours? Good
Yes.
Lord.
I had them, I will tell you, I had them sleeping through the night at 14 weeks.
Come on.
That was my big thing. I'm like, by 14 weeks, they are sleeping through the night because I need it. But yeah, so I homeschooled. So I wasn't really working. I did music. I have a music degree and led worship and stuff like that. So I did some stuff, but my focus was mainly kids. So that was kind of our first exposure to the auto glass industry.
But it was a way for him to kind of learn the business. Being on the marketing side, he could see it from both sides.
Right.
He got to see the back end of the business.
Right.
But also what it took to get out there and earn the business.
Right.
Nice.
Right. So when we moved up here, I homeschooled for a few years and then put them all in Bradley County schools. And we've just been really impressed with Bradley Central and Lake Forest and remotely. So anyway, got out of homeschooling and wanted to start a business. And had a friend who was also doing the rock chip thing, came up and he was like, this is a great area. You need to do it. There's cars everywhere. People are moving here. It's growing.
It's a growing area. And I think majority of the businesses that do that are national, are the big guys.
Yeah.
Because I've had to use them a couple times in my life. So trust me, I understand. I have an FJ Cruiser and I have replaced that windshield 4 times. Wow. It's a little bitty windshield. It was the first year they made it, so it was a weird angle. They've adjusted it since, but
so it just cracks out if there's anything.
Oh, because it's something about the angle when something hits the hood. They adjusted it slightly apparently in other years, but
so you got the bad year.
I got the guinea pig. It turns out they got that first year where they're like, let's see what bugs there are. But no, so trust me, I've done far more auto glass repair than I wanted to in this life. And now I don't have to wonder the next time it happens who I'm calling.
So we're here for you.
And how do they get a hold of you? How do folks get a hold of you?
So my phone number is 407. It is an area code from Orlando. Sometimes that throws people off, but I just haven't changed it. 407-924-3300, or you can go to glassjaxx.com. You can DM me I'm on Instagram, Facebook. My daughter is my Instagram guru.
There you go.
And then WebIve is helping us with Google and Facebook. So.
Our good friend Anton. Shout out to Anton.
Woo, woo.
And speaking of a big
SEO,
family, another big family. You guys all stick together. Is there a club?
No.
It
is nice to find another, like-minded specimen here.
Yeah, it's funny. It's
we're all a little crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I would say that it was, even if you weren't when you started, 6 kids will probably drive you there.
It rounds your edges, I will tell you.
That is a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you guys got here. Can I ask what brought you guys to Cleveland?
Yeah. So my husband was on staff in Orlando, downtown Orlando, at Christ Church of Orlando.
Yeah.
So Paul Valla was our senior pastor. Do you know him?
Yes.
You do?
I got a friend whose daughter just graduated Lee and just is going to work at that church down there.
Tori and Kaylin?
No.
Okay, because they work there too. They went to Lee.
She just graduated. Browning is her last name.
Oh. Yeah. It's a great church. So we were there for 9 years.
Yeah.
He's like a brother to me. I just love them down there. So we needed a youth pastor. Our friends came. We didn't know them at the time. They became some of our best friends. Pastored there with us, and their parents owned Surf's Up Car Wash.
Oh, nice.
So we kind of bonded with their family. They said, move up here and we'll build a car wash and you can help us run them. So that's what we ended up doing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, came up here.
Which
and
one,
then
the South End or North End?
Both. He did both. He did the one on Dalton Pike and the one on 25th.
Hey, they keep the Pro 93 fleet looking good. We got a membership with them. I need to get them in here. Now
they sold.
Yeah, now it's Whistles.
So they sold to, it's a different company now. It was Magnolia. It was like an investment group. Yeah. They wanted 100 car washes.
Yeah.
For the next year or whatever. So they don't own it anymore. So Jeff worked there for a couple years, and then once they sold this past November, you
guys just can't get away from cars.
Oh, we can't.
You like them. You like them. Yeah. Well, listen, when we come back, we're right up against the break here. When we come back, we're going to learn more about, we got a little bit of Glass Jaxx story here in this first segment. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about what they do and the different services they provide. So guys, no matter how you're listening out there, thank you for listening today, and hang in there. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back with Cezanne from Glass Jaxx. You're listening to Home Solutions right here on Mix 104.1 and ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Are you tired of going to YouTube or Google for answers to your home improvement questions? Maybe you have more projects than you have time. No matter where you are in the process, Pro 93 Home Solutions is ready to serve you. Pro 93 is a local, veteran-owned company offering residential and commercial remodeling, cleaning, and security. Contact us today at 458-4135 or online at pro93homesolutions.com. Let the pros at Pro 93 find the solution for your home or business. That's 458-4135. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for listening today. You're back with Home Solutions. Dennis Purvis here with you in the Mix 104.1 studios. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Listen, Whether you're out there right now listening in the car as you're driving around, maybe you're getting your day started, your weekend started, your errand started. Maybe you're headed out to one of our local hardware stores or nurseries to start doing some work on your house. Maybe you're headed out to one of our local auto parts stores working on your car. Whatever that is, thank you for tuning in to us. If you are listening on the Mix 1041 app, again, thank you. Or you're streaming online. And we haven't mentioned all day, wave Cezanne. Everybody on Facebook land, thank you guys for checking us out. We appreciate you. As you can tell, this is definitely a Beauty and the Beast scenario today. I have a great face for radio. Cezanne should be on television. This is horrible. I'm so insecure today.
Stop it, you're handsome, Dennis.
Why, thank you. I was just fishing for a compliment. Listen. We're talking about auto glass repair today and Glass Jaxx, which is a local family-owned, family-run, independent company that comes out and takes care of your needs for your auto glass. So we talked a little bit about your story in the first segment. So let's talk a little bit today about the next few minutes about what you guys do. And I think it would start with where it all started, which is in the chip repair, right? Talk a little bit about the process, what you guys do, and what makes it what's a good candidate for it when somebody I'm going to be completely transparent here. I am the king of it's not that bad. I'll just wait. It's not affecting. I can still see.
Not
right?
yet.
Not yet. Right. So what do people need to look for? But first of all, just talk a little bit about what the process is you guys actually do.
Okay. So I happen to believe that we have the best products, the best resins. The guy who I trained with, I think he's like a chemist or something, because he developed all these different viscosities of resins for different types of cracks and chips. And they cure almost as hard as glass, up to 125% harder than glass.
Holy
so they're
cow.
really amazing. And he's done all the testing. He's got pages and pages of data. Like if you're, kind of a data nerd, you can go to his website, ultrabond.com, and just look through auto glass data on your spare time.
Which sounds fun.
Fun.
If I'm ever having trouble sleeping, that is exactly
pull
what
it
I'm
out.
going to do. Yeah.
ultrabond.com. So anyway.
Shout out.
Yeah. Woo. So chips and cracks are, you need to get them fixed as quickly as possible. I think one of the biggest things in this industry is education on that very idea. Is you don't want to let it, run.
Yeah.
The heat, cold temperature differentiations, especially like on hot days going into a car wash, or blasting your air, or vice versa, cold days blasting your heat. I've had so many customers who have called me and then within a few days or even later on that day have the thing crack out. So it goes from $75 to $95 repair to, one guy had a Bronco and he called me back and he's like, $1,000. My wife drove it, blasted the heat. It went from a chip to cracked in two. So $1,000 replacement versus $100. Yeah, so 10 times price.
Oh.
And I guess he didn't have insurance coverage on that. I think his deductible was $1,000. So
you guys take insurance? Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
We're on with it's a third party. The way that works, if you have Geico or State or whatever, you have to go through a third party. So we're on with the third parties, but you just have to ask for our shop because they're always going to refer the national brand because
they're going to push them.
That's just kind of it's actually Safe Light Solutions.
And let me just throw this out there for anybody that's out there when it comes to insurance claims of any kind. The insurance company, first of all, isn't really supposed to make recommendations for people. It's something they're not supposed to do. So when they do make those recommendations, folks, you do not have to use them.
Right.
You are the insured. Their responsibility is to make you whole. Now they're not going to they're not going to pay 3 or 4 times because you found a buddy that'll do it. What I'm telling you is that they've got the market price. They know what the market price is for your area. Their job is to pay you to get the repair. Okay? So understand that a lot of people feel pressured that they have to use whoever the insurance company referred to. Keep in mind, you have some autonomy there. It is completely your decision. So when she says ask for Glass Jaxx, folks, just go ahead and do it. Just say, look, I understand you've got your folks, but here's who I want. And it's, you want to feed the national beast. You want to go with a local family here of
Right.
6. Their Suburban is barely hanging on. I mean, they've been driving all over. This woman's had 2 sets of twins.
Yes.
Give her some business. No,
Thank
so
God.
so just I wanted to throw that tip, and we try to do a tip every week for folks that are out there, and that's one of those things people. It's one of the biggest misconceptions I think in
Right.
insurance is that you have to use.
You have the
reviews.
power. Yeah,
Yes.
they're not looking out necessarily for your best interest. So
So if somebody's got just what's the largest?
parameters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has to be a single crack. It can't splinter. So differentiation between chips, it's like the size of a quarter. It can be a lot of different shapes, but about the size of a quarter. If they have longer legs, I can do somewhat longer. If it's a single crack, I fix up to 25 inches, but that's
Holy
not all that doesn't work all the time.
Yeah.
It just, sometimes I'll like try it, see how it turns out. Sometimes it doesn't turn out. But generally the NAGS, which is like the National Crack People,
Yeah. Okay.
National Crack People, they recommend 14 inches as their maximum.
Okay.
So, you can go up to 14 inches as long as it's not hitting 2 sides of your windshield, just
Yeah.
a single side, and it's not splintered. And it hasn't been there too long because you can get debris in there and that inhibits the
So what's
repair.
involved in that process? Like how do you guys get obviously you're putting in a resin.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get it to stay there and not run? Like what's the...
So it's twofold. One, you got to stop the spread. And so you drill in with literally a dental drill bit and a Dremel.
Wow.
So you drill through, windshields are 2 layers with the PVB in the middle.
Okay. PVB. Act like some of us don't know.
Polybutyl vinyl. It's versus tempered glass on the windshield.
Gotcha.
So when you hit it, it's not going to shatter.
Mm-hmm.
It can take a lot of beating, for the windshield. So it's real strong.
It's education here today, folks. We're learning.
Yes. So when I'm repairing, I don't want to go beyond that first layer of glass. I barely want to get to that PVB layer. So I drill down into it. It's called, you pop a bullseye, which you create a little opening.
Yeah.
And then you put the resin in from that point, whether it's a crack or a chip. And so that's
run through.
You try to get the crack to run into that, and it stops the crack. And then you backflow the resin. And as you get to the edge, you go thicker resin because the crack widens.
Yeah.
And then you cure it with UV light or sunlight. It only takes a few minutes. And then it hardens. It, bonds with molecularly to the glass and the PVB layer.
And
then,
how long does that process like that take?
Well, a chip or crack, about 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. If it's harder, sometimes 45. But the bigger cracks, maybe an hour.
So
So
for folks that are out there that may have never had one or have been putting it
Mm-hmm.
off, and we won't hold you to it, but just what's a general price range that folks are going to be looking at for a chip repair?
So chips, 75 to 95, and that's mobile. That's me coming to you.
Wow. Okay.
And if you have a second or third one on, it's half price for those.
There you go.
So the cracks are a little bit more. They can go up to 140 for the more difficult ones.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's stuff you don't have to make an insurance claim
Right,
on. It's
right,
stuff most people
absolutely.
and folks, think about that versus like the gentleman she told a little bit ago had the Bronco, was going to be $100 fix, turned into $1,000
Yeah.
replacement.
Big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And some of these, and I'll tell you, and I can tell you from owning an FJ Cruiser, that the more specialty the windshield, not only the windshield, but sometimes the trim that comes around.
Or
with
just
it.
finding the glass.
Yeah, just trying to get one. It can get pricey. So get those fixed. So
Yes.
so let's talk about replacement, which is where you guys have just recently moved to. I know you guys realized, I think, is it safe to say you guys, there's a lot of money being left on the table when you go out to do cracks and chips and realize we need to do replacements?
Yes. So that is, it's disappointing for the customer when they wait too long or just don't jump on it when they should. But we just started getting a ton of calls for replacement, and my husband and I were ready to, continue to grow the business, and so we did. And replacement's the next step.
Yeah,
because that's a needed service.
I'm assuming that process is pretty well covered in the name. We're going to take your windshield out and put a new one back in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we take it out. It's a whole process. He went to some training, and it's held. The windshield is actually held on by a urethane.
Yeah.
So you have to very carefully cut it out, prime it, fix it all up, get the new glass, put it in there with new urethane, and all the trim and clips and all of that fun stuff gets put back on. And
these are times where people, if they've got that covered, this is when they would make an insurance claim. It's on a replacement for sure. If they
we have some customers though that don't, because if their deductible is $500,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they don't necessarily need to do that.
And folks, if you're out there and you're wondering, it's to get a hold of them if you need to, and we'll give it to you before we get off here too. But it's 407-924-3300. GlassJaxx.com, and that's GlassJaxx.com. So make sure you're reaching out. Cezanne will definitely get out there just as quick as possible to try to keep your $100 fix from becoming $1,000 fix. So I tell you what I was been interested in is since I heard you guys, we were talking about it a month or two ago when you guys were adding the calibration. And since then, I actually went down the rabbit hole to try to figure some of this out because I never heard of calibration when it came to windshields. Didn't know that was even a thing. So you guys do the chips, the cracks, the replacement, but you also do the calibration. Talk to everybody. Let's educate our listeners here on what calibration is and why that's important.
Yeah. So the newer cars have cameras in the cars that are lane departure warning systems. It's called ADAS. So those cameras, as you're driving, it bumps you back onto the road if you start to swerve off or go over the line. So the camera's looking at the lines and making sure that you're staying within those parameters. It also can, alert you if you get too close to somebody in front of you, or if you forget to put on the brake, it's gonna warn you. So when you replace a windshield, the manufacturer, the car manufacturer, the windshield manufacturer, along with, there's a board, there's a calibration board. So they all recommend a recalibration of the windshield when you do that.
Well, the more it makes sense, that was the thing that I was like, why in the world would you need to calibrate a piece of glass? And then I realized,
it's the camera.
It's the camera. And listen, I do a lot of driving. I'm from Ohio originally. I've burned the road up on 75 between here and Cincinnati very, very often. And some late night drives, that lane assist has helped me out a little bit as I'm getting a little sleepy. And folks, I don't want that thing to be off.
Right.
I'd like to make it home.
Right. Make it home.
So what was involved with you guys getting involved with that? What was it? Was it? I'm assuming some training, but also machinery and different things to.
Yeah. So there's a tablet it's the same kind of tablet that mechanics have.
Yeah.
It's the company's called Autel. There's a few other companies out there, but we liked Autel, and so you have to buy the tablet, which is the software.
Yeah.
Or the tablet holds the software, so you've got to have a subscription to the software and get some training. So Jeff went up to Colorado Springs, I think is where it was, or Denver. It was Denver. And did some training, calibration training.
Nice.
So once you get the training and you've got the equipment, then
is it different? Is it make and model specific?
Yes, it is, and it's also so the American-made cars require dynamic calibration, which is that just means moving, driving. So you calibrate it as you're driving. The other one is static, and it's still with targets that the camera calibrates to.
Well, folks,
sets it up.
I don't know about you, but I've learned a lot today. Not only I got to hang out with a good friend of mine and a sweet person and a sweet soul, and a fantastic businesswoman, but also somebody that just kind of taught us a lot. So if you've got any windshield auto glass needs, you need to contact Glass Jaxx. One more time, how do they get a hold of you?
Yes, 407-924-3300 or glassjaxx.com.
And that's JAXX.
Double X.
Cezanne, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dennis.
It was better than you thought.
It was great.
Yeah.
You made it
nervous.
easy.
Yeah. So listen, folks, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back here next week. You guys take care. Go home. Love on your family, love on your neighbor, and remember, we're all in this together. We'll see you next week. You've been listening to Home Solutions right here on Mix 104.1 and ESPN Cleveland 101.3.